I want to show you guys a quick video. It's going to show you 3 different drivers. You might recognize the drivers. Don't let that sway your opinion.
Like a quiz? I'm scared.
I just was hoping you guys would let us know which driver you think is fit for the job and why.
Okay. So we're talking about presentation a little bit, and
Whatever your opinion is, you guys base it on that, all right?
Okay, let's do it.
So let me crank my brightness
Fit
up
the
here
job.
so you guys can see.
Oh.
All right, you guys just go ahead and watch the little 30-second video.
I think they recognize the drivers.
Well, I'm trying to make sure they don't let that sway their opinion.
So right off the bat,
we don't need to use any names.
I'm gonna.
We'll say 1, 2, and 3.
Not
driver
names.
A, B, and C. No names.
Not naming names. I'm going driver 3, driver 1, and then driver 2. And I think the reasons are really obvious.
I think you were driver 1.
Okay.
But that means I was driver 2, though. I think that means I got last.
Well, it's okay.
Try harder next
what were the qualifications? Like,
personal.
I think the differences we had in the video were like based on professionalism, how they're dressed, what time they show up, and then the equipment they bring. So like, in what form of factors does that all fall in line for you guys?
So based on that video, I mean, we have somebody who's dressed business casual, someone who's dressed casual. But in the same breath, they're dressed in your branding. And I think that's something that Deliver That does differently than other third-party delivery services. And I think to have that company branding, it kind of tells customers that, you know, these drivers are proud to work for Deliver That, and they take pride in what they're doing and the service that they're providing, which is why you got second. You know, you're dressed casually. You're still on time for pickup, but, you know, you're still representing. And, you know, obviously, if you're coming prepared with the proper equipment, i.e. the cart, it takes the cake. It's number 1.
Yeah.
What I think, like, how do you think that how those drivers are prepared for the delivery? Like, how does that influence their opportunities for deliveries, and then also how that customer is influenced on the back end to review that experience? Whether, like, we work with some partners who offer gratuities on the back end of the delivery where it's not pre-authorized, but based on how the timing, based on the setup, based on the experience with the driver, they then sign that receipt and leave a gratuity. How do you guys feel like that driver's professionalism, their attire, their equipment, and how that delivery is actually set up? Do you guys feel like that influences the customer and their experience with that delivery?
100%. I mean, not professionalism, but how you present yourself, it influences a lot. I hate to say it, but how you present yourself influences how other people view you, maybe how you carry yourself. I mean, you're always guaranteed just a better experience when you are put together and people see you put together. I mean, as much as I want to be so cool and say, like, yeah, no, be casual, be cozy, like, you do have to hold yourself to a certain standard, and you will receive the benefits of that.
So the saying goes, you can tell a lot about a man by the shoes that he's wearing. I think I think, you know, when you're looking at a driver who's showing up and they look like they care, they're gonna do the job like they care.
Yeah. Ben, to your point, talking about like how customers look, I think being on time is like, it's a deal breaker, right? Like, that's our first checkbox. If you're rolling up late and you look great with your cart, no one cares. No one cares at that point. We are late and we need to move now. But then when it comes to like appearance, it's like the places you guys are selling catering to, each environment is a little bit different, but all of them are like a step above for the most part of just like dropping off to somebody's house where they're cozy in pajamas, right?
You touch on a really good point.
Yeah, you're going to like a doctor's office, or even if we're delivering to the Predators, whatever's going on, you need to be able to at least blend into the environment to the point where you're not like sticking out like a sore thumb, right? Like, you don't always have to be like dressed to the nines and wearing your dress shoes and hustling around like you're working at a banquet or something like that. But you have to blend into the environment you're going to.
Right.
And then the equipment piece, I think it really just comes down to that limits the scope of what you can handle.
Yeah, what you can
100%.
actually
That's all.
do.
100%.
And it also puts everybody at ease. Like, you know your driver because they walk in with the branded clothing. They look you in the eyes.
Right away. I do this. Yeah. I deliver that. That's what I do.
I do love it. But
So-
to have that equipment, like you said, it does kind of, open up what you are able to handle.
Yeah.
And if a driver has that equipment, then they're handling larger catering orders. That could
Yep.
mean more money in their pocket.
Yep. And for the restaurant side of this coin, you have done so much to mitigate a driver not having the right equipment that a lot of restaurants don't do.
thank
The
you.
black bags that you guys are using,
Amazing.
the boxes that you're using, because I always tell people, like, the worst thing that could happen is a driver shows up and they have absolutely no equipment with them, and it's a larger order, and the restaurant has nothing on their side. And now it's like, are we scrambling for cardboard boxes in the back? Like, what's the contingency plan if a driver shows up and doesn't have bags, right? And you guys have completely mitigated that as being like a detrimental part of the experience if a driver
Absolutely.
didn't have bags.
I think actually the worst thing that could happen is a driver shows up on a bike
Yep.
and expects to deliver a $300 catering
Yep.
order, and it's like, it's just not going
Is
to work.
is she speaking from experience?
Please
or?
don't.
Oh,
It's so triggering.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
yes.
I didn't know if that was a deliver that experience. Or
No,
what we were
no, no.
referring
It's
to.
a city experience.
Okay.
It's a city experience for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember watching. So we've been talking to you guys about food on demand. I remember watching a panel there, and I won't say the delivery service's name, but on this panel, they're like, how do you differentiate between like your catering drivers and your non? And they just said like, our catering drivers need a 4-wheel vehicle. And I remember sitting in the crowd and I was like, yeah, like it was like a foreign
Duh.
concept to me, where I was like, are they sending people on bikes and stuff? And then I'm asking people, and they're like, oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, no
Crazy.
way. Like
Crazy.
for us, we just don't let people on if they don't have a car and show us that. So the thought had never occurred to me. It was like that aha moment for me
I
too.
think it's a catering specific driver versus just like what you said earlier, just a grab and drop
Yeah.
driver. I
Yeah.
mean, and guests like to hear that as well.
Yep.
Like, you're getting a catering specific delivery.
To your point, showing up to the restaurant with the proper material, looking, a certain way, what have you. Just kind of circling back, when you show up to a restaurant prepared, Dimitra and I aren't able to know the names of every single driver
Yeah.
at every single location and which locations they frequent. And we kind of rely on our restaurant teams to tell us who they prefer.
Yeah.
So those drivers who are showing up prepared and ready to go, our restaurant operators are telling us.
Yeah.
And, if they see a big order come through, they're saying, hey, this order just came through. We want this driver on. Can you please request it?
Yeah.
So it's just a testament that, showing up prepared and looking good, feel good. If you look good, you work good.
Yep.
And, if you show up that way, then
And even back to like the social aspect of catering versus like picking something up off a shelf and taking an on-demand order, just like introducing yourself. Like from our driver's perspective, if you're dressed the right way and you go out of your way to say, hi, I'm Christian, I'm excited to take the order today, and then tell them customer name, the address, the whole 9 yards, that name will stick right away. And again, like all we can do is set drivers up for success.